Well, we wanted the house to be built. My mum had recently found herself on her own. Her husband of 20 odd years just left her. So my sister and her had this idea that they could kind of pool resources and live together with large enough space for two of them, that they would buy some place with a plot of land and we'd kind of build a little wooden house for her. The first problem was the fact that well, when they turned up to build, well, nobody even came actually to have a look, to check where the lodge was going to be put. And Chris Escradi was just very kind of blasé about it. And then eventually, when they did turn up, they turned up with this film crew, and they were scraping away the earth because it wasn't level. Right from the beginning, when it was put on these spikes, it wasn't even above the ground one side, so it was sort of stuck in mud. And from then on, it just got worse and worse. Biggest issues, well, the drainage, the sewage, all the pipes. At the time, we said that if you don't insulate them, they will burst. And sure enough, after they stopped, when they refused to come back, the loft, the tank in the loft burst and basically just leaked through the ceiling onto my mum's furniture, walked the floors, everything. The build disaster has massively impacted on our lives. I spent the last year or so just trying to fight them, to take them to court. So we decided to basically kind of like spend my mum's last bit of savings taking him to court, and basically got right to the point where literally the morning it was going to go to court. It was a guaranteed win unless they went into liquidation. And that morning the solicitor rang me and said, right, the papers are going through, we've just got to check on Company House. And then that evening I got a phone call saying, uh-oh, they've gone into liquidation. So all the money we spent on the legal battle was lost. So going from what she had before, up until she had her aneurysm, up until all of this, she was 70, 71, she was working still. She was driving, she was working, she was looking forward to a future. Living in a little wooden house, close to my sister, and you know, it's just ended up like this. She's got nothing. We never heard anything from the company. I tried initially to contact Chris. He refused to even acknowledge that it was a house that he was building, even though at the time they were still selling Hudson houses. Over the months that we tried to get him back here to finish it, he carried on building things for people. He appeared on Channel 4, Cabin in the Wilds. He just blatantly carried on and ignored us, and that was it. When they went into liquidation, our solicitor said, you know, they could start up again, but there's no guarantee they might, you know, stop again. So at this point I was stopped, you know, we can't do anything more. And then I noticed that on Facebook they were still posting up pictures, and Sam was like noticing this too, and so we rung up and to see whether they were, and they were still trading. And then at that point I just had enough, because it has had such a stressful effect on our lives. I couldn't fight it anymore. Just make sure that you're there throughout the whole of the process. I really didn't think we had a cowboy builder, but we did.